Whether you keep them in your home or love to see them in theirs, these are the creatures that bring us all together.
Reptiles. We're going to be delving into the experiences of reptile lovers from around the block and around the world. This is the Reptile Talk Podcast.
Boom! What's going on, everybody? This is Jeremy Turgeon from Brassman Reptiles.
And I'm Robin. I'm keeping it real.
Hey, we're back. We're been back. A minute.
It has been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. I've been traveling the East Coast for the last few weeks.
And I've just been field herping, basically. That's all I've been doing.
You have been field herping and finding so much cool shit. So.
Yeah. It's been fun. I can't complain.
Hell yeah. Bam. Well, what's up, everybody? There's a bunch of people here already in the chat. So what is up, all of you guys? Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. We're going to be just kind of chatting about randomness. I might talk a little bit about what I've been doing on the road. And then, we'll give you some season updates. Both of us have some stuff going on. We've both got babies that are on the ground now and all that fun stuff. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And as always, feel free, if you would like to, throw us a super chat, and we'll highlight those comments and talk about whatever you guys might want to talk about. Bam. So that is that. Dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, honestly. I am enjoying snakes are actually starting to come out now. Now, once the baseline temp hits 70 degrees, stuff started coming out, and like pretty much now whenever I go out I see at least something, before it was like I'd see salamanders and sometimes that was the only thing I saw, but now I'm seeing there was a 5-line skink on my porch earlier and I was like, yes, hell yeah. It's been pretty sweet.
Hell yeah.
And then this season's been full swing. I got like a week until Borneo babies are going to be coming out. My IJ carpets, they already should have hatched. Today is day 63, I think. So it's going a little bit long on them. So I'm assuming the Borneos might go a little bit long too. I basically set the incubator to like 80. I set the probe to 82, but it's keeping the insides of the boxes like 86 to 88. So I guess it'll take a little bit longer. I really don't care. I found that I enjoy incubating a little bit on the cooler side. Usually it leads to the babies being less psycho. Those little jungle carpet pythons that I hatched out, dude, they have not struck at me at all. They are so chill. They are so chill, which is weird.
Give it time.
Yeah, probably. Once they get a meal into them, they're like, everything? Bite everything? Okay, I'll bite everything.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Those carpets look pretty freaking badass, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. And then you hatch out some baby jungles too, looking mint.
Yes. Yep. We got some baby jungles, which I'm super, super stoked about. They all look great. And some of them are super dark, which is cool. And there's some interesting patterns on some of them, some weird like aberrant stripe kind of stuff going on, which is interesting because both the parent are very much normal. No crazy genetics. They're just nice line bred, normal animal. And they produce great offspring. That's why I paired them up. I wasn't concerned about making crazy morphs. I just wanted to make some nice looking jungles. And these did not disappoint. So we got those. And then my Borneo babies are finally out. And I'm so freaking stoked.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So, when I saw the first nose pipping, I was like, it's happening!
It's happening!
But yeah, so we laid 19 eggs, 2 went bad during incubation, and then 1 baby. Of course, it was like the nicest baby in the clutch. Hatched out with this, looked like a tear duct, had a blockage because its eye was kind of swollen, and it had a little bit of an underbite. And yesterday, when I went down just to go take a peek and check on everybody, I found it dead in the tub. So I don't know if there was something else that was going on with that animal or whatever, but I was bummed. But all the rest of them are fantastic. They're all great, healthy, spunky, don't want to be messed with whatsoever. But it's so cool. Like you open up the enclosure or you open up the drawer and you just see them all flatten out, and they're like, "Don't do it! Don't do it!
Don't even think about it."
Yeah, I'm a spring and I will lose my mind.
Yo. Oh, I miss
But it's
baby
cool.
Borneos.
Yeah, it's cool. There's 1.1 super stripes that are insanely reduced and very clean that I think are going to be the holdbacks.
Hell yeah.
Just because I really like that clean look. But there's a lot of diversity in the clutch, which I knew to expect. But it looks like there's like some granite-y looking things on there. There's some really interesting stripes. And then there's one that's I guess it still would technically be a genetic stripe, but the sides are all like it's all dots. It's really, really interesting. So I had a couple of people hit me up about it, and when I posted pictures on my story, they're like, "Hey, that one with the spots, what's with that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's just very different." So
it's a Borneo. It is
it's
a Borneo.
You get it, you breed it, and you'll get no dots whatsoever. So.
Or more dots.
Or more dots. You could get
or both.
Yeah. Yes. You could very much get both. But yeah, so I'm stoked. I stare at them for probably too long every day. I go down there now and I'm like, ooh. And I just cut the first clutch of ball pythons for the year. Which I'm pretty stoked about. That was a champagne Enchi leopard het clown to an Enchi het clown. And it's that really weird reduced pattern Enchi het clown that came in from Dan, and it's interesting. There's 3 of the 4 are champagnes. One is literally just a leopard het clown, and I was very sad. But the other ones, they're all champagnes, and they also all look like champagne clown combos, which is actually pretty sweet. So we'll see. Obviously, I'm hoping for a super Enchi leopard champagne clown, but even just a super Enchi champagne clown without the leopard would be pretty sweet. So we shall see. I'm very excited for that.
Hell yeah!
And then when I come back from my next excursion, I'll have another 2 or 3 ball python clutches hatching. Some hidden jingle clown stuff, some EMG clown stuff. So. Looking forward to ball pythons hitting the ground, and then Brettles pythons are getting ready to lay soon. I just had a couple ovulations from some Brettles pythons. So,
goddamn,
yeah, buddy, we moving.
Oh man, you're gonna have stuff hatching all year,
dude. Well, you know, I'm okay with that. I mean, for the most part, the bulk of stuff is done. I've got about 4 ball python clutches that are still due to be laid. And then the 3, maybe 4 Brettles pythons. So it'll come kind of in little increments, which is okay with me. I like that a little bit more than like the giant wall of babies just like hatching all simultaneously.
That's why I get this feeling, this eerie feeling that the IJ carpets and the Borneos are going to hatch at the same time. And I can be like, no, there's 30 babies. No, not all at the same time.
Yeah. Oh man, it's it's interesting. It's interesting and frustrating sometimes, but I mean, just between my jungles and the Borneos, that's what 26 babies just right there, plus those that clutch of 4 ball pythons. So there's 30 babies just in 3 clutches, and I still have many clutches in the incubator and many more to be laid. So.
How many baby racks you got?
I need I have 1 in the shed in the back that I need to go bring inside.
Yeah.
That'll give me an extra, I think like 60 or so tubs. So then I'll be good for this year. Next year might be a different story, but you know.
Yeah, dude. This year I was like, okay, I'm not gonna breed a whole lot, and then everything that I bred has been going. So I'm like, maybe next year I shouldn't breed so much, but next year some really cool stuff should be coming online. So next year I'm really gonna need to double down on the like whole back racks and everything, because the stuff I intend on pairing next year should produce some really crazy shit.
So how many holdbacks are you gonna have now, Ralph?
Next year is going to be all of them. But this year, The jungle carpet clutch, I kind of want to keep one of the Jags and one of the normals. So that'll mean I'll sell 2 of them. And then the IJ clutch, I was talking to Senor Hunt, and he was saying that if I'm looking to wholesale some, that he might be interested in that. So I might end up doing that just to move them, because it's not really that's not really my type of pairing. So I figure I'll cherry pick some stuff out of that and then wholesale the rest. And then the Borneos, I don't know, because literally the amount of variety that could be coming out of that clutch could be ridiculous. So
Yes.
I'm not saying anything this way or that way with the Borneos. And then I had a blood python that just laid recently, and I don't even want to talk about that clutch because I'm just hoping that what happens, and if it does, I'll be excited.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I just want to talk about this comment because I get this question a lot. For those of you who aren't watching YouTube, the question is, I have a question for you peeps. How does one travel for weeks for music and manage to keep a lot of reptiles? It is actually fairly challenging. First of all, I usually don't travel for many weeks at a time. And on the odd chance that I am going on a tour that's going to last more than a week, I have my roommate Lenny, who can take care of stuff and at least bare minimally give things water. I don't have any lizards or anything here, so it's all snakes, so they can go, that week time frame without really needing much work done. But on those weird instances where I may get called for being away for a longer period of time, Rob's not that far away, and I can, I can call, reach out and touch a brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really travel all that much, so like I just do day trips. So I go out and go herping for a day and then come right back home. But I did take off just about a week of work so that I can do Daytona. So I'm gonna do some heavy deep cleaning and setting everything up before I leave. And then my mom lives like 40 minutes away, so I could have her come check waters on like the short tails and bloods and stuff. I'll just be notes on the scrub cages, like just don't do these if it's nighttime.
Yes, exactly.
Just leave them alone.
Yeah, but yeah. So and then when I get back into town, usually the first 48 hours for me are pretty much like spent down in the reptile rooms, just going through everything. Usually what I do, regardless of when I get home, I'll go right down to the reptile room and check on babies, make sure babies all have water, and that nobody's incredibly gross cage wise. If somebody like took a poo and it's gross and everything, then I'll clean it in that moment. But if everything's like, I can go another 3 hours, so I can
go sleep for a little bit,
sliver of a rest, then fine. And that's usually how it works. So it's at that point, it's really just being able to break it down. So like today is a really good example. So I got back Monday through Wednesday this past week. I was up in Connecticut. I came back Wednesday afternoon, went right down into the reptile room and took care of some babies. Then I was exhausted, so I went to sleep. Yesterday, I had to be out all day for a couple different meetings and stuff down in Charlotte. Today, I did anybody who follows me knows my reptile room is pretty much a very long room, and then there's a wall, and then there's even more things outside that wall. So so today I maintained everything on the other side of that wall, and then even did rodent mints as well. And then I'll do a couple more things today, and then I have to go back down to Charlotte for a concert. So tomorrow, the entire day before I have to go back to Charlotte yet again, will be just taking care of the main room. All the babies have water. I just fed everything as well. But everybody's good. It's just a couple cages need to be cleaned and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's what it's like. I don't have a life. I have to time everything so I can actually have a life. And then if I get distracted, that's why I can't look at my phone all the time. So like people have been getting irritated with me because I'm not responding to messages quick enough. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I've been away. Like most of the month of May, I've been traveling for many days. So like I come back and I am stuck doing what I need to do so that I can go for the next round. That's what it's been.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it's been. Let's see. There's a couple other questions in here. Jen Davis is in the building. What's up, Jen? You were just hanging out with Jen.
I was, yeah. I got to hang out with Jen the other day. Got to check out some of her animals. It's really, really cool. She got a little Mangshan viper, and I was like, oh, man, that thing's awesome. It's so freaking cool. I have to post a picture of it because I took a really nice picture of it. Yeah, and then we hung out, and we got some food, got some gator tail, and did a little bit of herping, and, it was cool. It was a good time.
Heck yeah. Let's see. Shout out Timothy for the super chat. Thank you, man. Just got back into ATVs. Heck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I was today's post, I was cleaning out my Amazons and playing with Hellboy a little bit, and I had to do 2 takes of that video because the first take he tried to bite my nose and he came really close.
Ooh.
He came pretty close.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but he missed me. He missed me, but he came very close.
Yeah. I still no, you're good.
Oh no, I was gonna say I was like, I'm not gonna post that. It was a good video, but
yeah. I still have the only snake bite I've had since I moved down here was just that black racer. It's the only one I've got so far.
Dude. I've been
I'm just really careful. I've been finding a bunch of wild black rat snakes, and like if they're chill, I'll pick them up. Most of the time, I'm just like, you can chill out over there. Like the one that I saw 2 black rat snakes today, and one of them was like in the woods, and it was kind of down on this log, and so I like kneeled down next to it, and I put my arm up and recorded a video, just like putting the back of my fist up to it, and it's just flicking its tongue or whatever. And I was like, okay, maybe it'll be chill, and it like started to turn to go away, and I gently put my hand underneath it. As soon as my hand touched underneath it, it like whipped around and had its mouth open. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pick you up. It's okay. We're cool. Yeah. I saw another one basking like on the edge of this river, and it was in this rock pile. And that one, I went down there, and it looked at me and was like, please don't mess with me. And I was like, I'm just gonna give you a little pat. And I like scooped him up, and he didn't care at all. He was like, whatever. I really don't care.
Cindy down in Georgia sent a picture in one of our group chats. She came across a black racer at her mom's house, and she was able to pick it up. She's like, I thought it was going to be a lot harder to catch this thing, but it didn't care. It did. And I was like,
really?
Nice, you as friend, not foe.
I don't know, man. Black racers,
they're not easy to grab.
Yeah, black racers usually think everyone is foe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I want to highlight this. Callista, Jeremy, and Rob. Sorry, I'm kind of new. What kind of snakes do you both breed and have? What breed and have is fairly long, but the quick version: ball pythons, jungle carpets, Centralian carpets, bloods, short tails, cow kings, corn snakes, goinai kings, mex, Amazon tree boas. I think that's about it ish. There's others. I keep others. I also have berms and retics and
boo.
And there's more. I'm forgetting more. Oh, Macklot's pythons. Yeah, there's probably more I'm forgetting. I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting. Also, before you say what you keep and breed, Rob, I saw that pied berm prices. I just have to say this because the pied berm is the only other berm that I would entertain getting one of.
Mm-hmm.
Their prices have dropped like insanely.
What are they, like $5,000?
$5,000 for pieds that are het for caramel.
Yeah, because the berm community can't help but screw themselves over.
Well, I mean, it's also if you're breeding visual to visual and you're getting 50 eggs, how long is that going to be sustainable at whatever price point? If you're one person and there's another 10 people that are doing the exact same pairing, it's a fight for this many people.
Yep.
Who are actually going to buy in at that crazy price point. So now they're going down. So I think probably in the next year or two, they're going to be, $2,500 or
yeah, I was gonna say 2,000.
Yeah. So I'm because like I said, that's the only other berm that I would entertain purchasing. And that's it. So I'm like, I'll just wait. That's fine.
I don't need one, so it works even better for me.
I got enough berms for both of us.
You do. I think you have too many for both of us, but that's okay. That's just my opinion.
Hey, look, I just added 2 more of my own Borneos to this collection. So the number will never be skewed in the wrong form. So we're good.
Yeah. Most of what I do is Borneo short-tailed pythons. I have a few blood pythons. My other big thing is scrub pythons, but I also have West Popland carpets, some jungle carpets, some corn snakes, Amazon, blah, 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 blah. A bunch of other stuff. I don't know. I've got some ball pythons too. I always forget about them because they're just there. But my main focus is Borneos. This year I'll be producing Borneo short-tailed pythons, red-bill pythons, jungle carpets, West Popland carpet crosses, and then maybe scrubs if they'll do something.
Fingers crossed.
Yep, fingers crossed.
Heck yeah. All right, let's see. Make sure we got everybody here. Yeah, I think so. Oh, here's an interesting one. What kind of laws are there in NC? There's a one primary like statewide regulation, which is Article 55, which is it's actually not that difficult to be able to meet the criteria for what it asks of the keepers. But North Carolina is one of the few states where the laws for various exotics really depends on your county. The state has its regulations, but then it's up to each county to have various ordinances. So it all depends on where you're at to be able to give you a real answer. There's a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So what are you hoping comes out of that Borneo clutch?
So the pairing is the male. It was produced by Dan Magano. He's a side swipe super stripe, so he's a fully striped super stripe that's blanked out sides, and he is het for ultra. And the female that he bred to was my granite stripe. So she's like a partial stripe. She's like probably half her body is striped. Granite striped head ultra as well. So there's going to be some cool stripe things in there. There's probably going to be some super stripe ultra, side swipe, super stripe ultra stuff. I don't know how well the granite is going to play out in that because side swipe disappears the side patterning, and ultra usually kind of dims down the side patterning as well. So I'm not really expecting a whole ton as far as the granite goes in that. I mean, it'd be cool to get some striped stuff that also has granite on them because the mom is striped and granite. But the ultra and super stripe and side swipe ultra stuff is kind of what I'm hoping really shows out on this clutch, because the side swipe stuff usually throws these really crazy intense stripes, and the mom's also got striping too. So it should have lots of cool stripe things, some light colors, some, a little bit of speckling, and we'll see what we got. I'm not putting too much weight on anything because they're Borneos. Just the fact that I know that there'll be super stripe stuff in there. I know that there'll be side swipe super stripe stuff in there. And I'm hoping that I do hit on some ultra things in there, because it's been a couple of years since I think not last year, the year before, I produced some ultras, but it'll be cool to produce some more striped ultra stuff.
Hell yeah. It means you just have to hold stuff back.
I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'll be holding some of that stuff back, because it's not. I did this as not necessarily just an experiment, but I want to see how those three genes interact to see what happens, because the side swipe is so like dominant. It really just crushes out the side pattern on everything. And with the granite, you want to see that patterning on the sides. So I didn't want to see what happens with that, but I feel like I'll want to hold back like maybe 2 or 4 animals from that clutch, probably 4 animals from that clutch to just work in that direction. If I'm hitting on what I think will come out, I will want to hold back probably 4 of those animals. It's I think a 14 egg clutch. I had 2 eggs go bad. And so 10 babies for sale. I also am planning on moving to a different county in November, and I want to have some money for Daytona and shit. So I really, I do want to put a bunch of that stuff up for sale, and hopefully some cool stuff comes out of the IJ clutch too, because it's the 75% IJ Jag that you produced that I got from you. That's got like almost a full stripe down his whole fucking body.
Yeah.
Him bred to my super fucking nice West Papuan female that produced the crazy nice babies for me. What is it, a year and a half ago? 2 years ago. So those two together. So the babies that are not Jag, I will either be selling as feeders or as wholesale, or like, so if someone who's really needed a pet one, you know, someone I know who's not going to breed them, I'd probably want them to go there as opposed to someone who might potentially breed them, because they are going to be however small percentage coastal crosses. And then the Jags, basically I want to just grade them on, you know, what comes out, because I really don't know. That mom is smoking, and her babies that I held back are incredible. So like, I'm hoping that translates well into the Jag, because the dad is nice looking, but I think that with her influence, it really will turn those babies up a notch and maybe make things look a little bit better.
Agreed. The more you add solid IJ blood into the Jags, the better those things look, especially when they're like when they've got nice color. It's
You remember Bullwinkle?
Yes.
Anthony Caponetto, dude. When I saw that snake, I was like, I need one of those. One of those. That thing is incredible. Like, I was just blown away. I remember I had that picture saved on my like old laptop or something, like for no reason. Not for no reason. I thought it was cool. I was like, man, this thing is just a really nice looking car. Like, I'm not crazy about carpet pythons, but that snake was just really nice.
Yeah, dude. I remember the first time I had learned about the GQ line IJ stuff. You know, obviously that was like Anthony's thing, you know, the GQ line IJs. So when he started making those crazy Jags, those crazy IJ Jags, I was just like, how do I do that? Like, how I need that, all of that in my life. I need that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw it. Oh no, go ahead. Yep.
Oh no, shout out Jay Hill. I always look forward to the podcast and glad there's a glimmer of hope shared on the US Arc channel. Yes, if you are not following US Arc, please go and do so. You can follow them on YouTube now. Become a subscriber to the US Arc YouTube channel. Hopefully you're following them on Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't seen the video that we're referring to, basically Garrett spoke with Phil about the first meeting that the conferee committee held, which is just the first step in getting the Competes Act and the Senate equivalent merged into one. That's the step that happens before it would end up going to be signed into law. So that's what we're trying to fight. The Lacey Act amendments to be pulled from the Competes Act before that merge happens. And there was I think it was the senator in New Mexico, I think it was, who blatantly called out the Lacey Act amendments. They shouldn't be in there, that it is going to hurt small businesses, the exotic animal industry, especially when you're dealing with like fish and mammals and stuff like that. It's very heavily regulated as it is. You know, so this is just underhanded trying to get in there. That was awesome that was immediately brought up. It also sounds like the House version, so the Competes Act, was a partisan arrangement of insanity, whereas the Senate bill was bipartisan, which means it's agreed upon on both sides, the Senate and the House. So these are all things that we want to hear overall. It sends the Competes Act kind of back a few notches, which is exactly what we're interested in there. So yes, go check out the US ARC channel where you can learn about that in a more sound, thought out way, because I botched that a little bit, but I'm no Phil Goss. So, but yes.
Yeah, dude. I'm really hoping that there's more. It looks like people are starting to show up and show out for this sort of stuff, and that makes me really excited because we can only shout at people so much to, hey, you need to show up and speak to your senator. You need to show up at these hearings. We can only do so much without other people helping, and when people actually show up, it can affect some change. As we go.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, you can only scream so much. That's absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's run our sponsorship promo really quick, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
Black Box Cages, located in Buford, Georgia, is your one-stop shop for all of your caging and rack needs. Owners Jen and Clint are at the helm of this fantastic company. With one of the shortest lead times in cage and rack manufacturing, Black Box can satisfy anyone's needs. From baby racks to V70s, arboreal and terrestrial caging to deep-fronted bioactive enclosures. You can find everything you need right here. New enclosure sizes and products are added frequently to their availability, so be sure to check back often. Black Box Cages have tons of customizing options for lighting and heating. Along with that, cages and racks can be stacked with metal stacking dowels, and all cage joints are dadoed for improved durability and stability. Most cage units are flat packed, but are pre-assembled prior to shipping to ensure a solid build every time. The Micro, XC18, XT3, Bio-G, and 3-stack V70 ship assembled, and all other racks are shipped freight and assembled. The XR16 and XR20 model racks allow keepers to mix and match tubs. Fitting both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, you can mix the V15, V18, and V35S tubs, or the FB5, FB8, and FB35CV-SC tubs. This kind of flexibility allows keepers to raise their animals from hatchling to juvenile or subadult size before needing to upgrade into adult caging. Don't just take our word for it. Go to their website to see countless customer reviews and review videos from keepers all over. To learn more about Black Box Cages, follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Black Box Cages, and of course their website, www.blackboxcages.com. Links to their socials and website will be available in the podcast description.
Hey.
Shout out to Black Box Cages. Always, all our info is in the description, like I said there. So go check them out. Go get yourself a cool cage. I know I'll be probably getting some more Black Box stuff before the end of the year, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. I need to pick up some 3-foot cages and maybe another baby rack.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got rid of that CB70 rack, which means I can now plan to move my 4-foot rack with my young retics into the room. And then that part of the wall where they're at now will end up being all Amazons. So it'll be like a half wall of Amazons when it's all said and done. So I think it'll be a total of 30 cages or something like that. So
hot damn.
Yeah. I can never, dude, you know me. When I can do a project, I can't just get one or two. I can't just get a trio. I'm like, we're going to breed a little of everything. And I'll cry about it later.
For real, though.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. These are the things. I just like too much shit. I say that every time.
Yeah, I'm just biding my time until I can have venomous, and then when that happens, there's going to be rapid changes in what I keep.
Yeah, you see, Rob is like, "Hey, I'm selling a whole bunch of things."
I need to make room for rhino vipers.
Yeah. It's just Rob's gonna have half a wall of rhino vipers, half a wall of gaboons.
No gaboons, just
No
rhinos.
gaboons, just rhinos.
No. I'm not crazy about gaboons, man. I don't know. Everybody's nipples gets hard for gaboon vipers. They just don't do it for me.
That's
They're
fair.
cool. They're cool. They're pretty, but it's like once I've seen, every single venomous collection has a gaboon, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't need one of those.
That's a fair point.
I love rhinos. I love wagglers. I like stuff with a little more contrast. I feel like the gaboons have more of a cryptic pattern, and it's less contrast. I mean, they do have good contrast to them, but not compared to a rhino or like a wagglers or like a broad-banded copperhead. I'm like, oh man, I love the contrast on those. So
yes. Wait. Speaking of copperheads, you finally saw copperhead.
Finally, freaking finally. I'm still very excited because I have been looking high and low for copperheads for 6 months since I came down here. And literally every person who I've met who lives down here is like, just go to a river. You'll see a copperhead. They're everywhere. Look under a log. Look under a rock. There's a copperhead. There's a copperhead. Look at the copperheads. There's a copperhead. And I was like, dude, no, I've been looking for the entire time that I've been here. I've been going to state parks. I've been going to rivers. I've been going to creeks. I've been doing everything I can to see a freaking copperhead out here. And then where do I see it? While I'm at work. I'm like, I can't even sit and enjoy this for a hot minute because I'm out here working right now. Yeah. But I did get to take a couple pictures of it, and I let the homeowner know. I was like, hey, look, there's a copperhead over here. They're not deadly. Just leave it alone, please. Don't mess with it. And it was pretty chill. I mean, I walked right by it. It didn't move at all. And it was like, so this person had a cement brick retaining wall, and then like it dropped, the soil dropped down like 4 foot, and there was like a little landing area that was maybe 8 foot deep, and then it went down to a stream, and it was on that little landing area, and it was in the leaves and like just partially visible. And I'm walking around doing my thing, and then I'm like, copperhead, I see that pattern. I know that pattern. I was starting to get paranoid, man. I was like, maybe I forgot what they look like. Maybe I'm just a bad herper. Maybe I've walked past 500 of these things, and my eyes are not adjusted to them anymore. And then I saw that one, and I was like, oh, you weren't even sitting out in the open. You were like underneath leaves and stuff. I still know what I'm doing. I still know.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, it took me a hot minute to find one, but I'm excited that I got to see one finally. And it was a nice looking one. It wasn't very big. It was like maybe 13 inches long, 14 inches long. It was fairly small. So I was just like pumped to see one finally. I've been seeing black rat snakes left and right. Like apparently those are the garter snakes down here, because in New England there's garter snakes everywhere. You go out walking in the woods, you'll see garter snakes. And down here I've only found one garter snake, but every place that I go to has got black rat snakes, like in the trees, on the ground, near the water, like they're everywhere. Yeah. And then we went herping at a park that's got like a river that runs through it, River State Park. And we bumped into some people. I heard this guy saying to his daughter was like maybe 8 years old or so, but he's like, if you see any snakes, let me know and I'll come pick it up for you. And I was like, oh, they're out here looking for snakes. So Kristen was with me, and I was like, you should go over there and just ask them what they're looking for, because it's less weird when she does it than if I do it. So she goes over there. She's like, you guys I heard you're looking for snakes. And they're like, oh yeah, we're looking for snakes. We just found like a little musk turtle. And so she's like, oh, that we're out here looking for snakes too. And so we're just talking to the guy kind of casually. He's not like I don't think he keeps any reptiles. He's just like a dad who likes to go out and go into nature and look for snakes and stuff.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Right? And his daughter was into it too. And so we're over there talking for a minute, and he's showing me pictures of some of the stuff that he's been finding. Like he's been seeing some water snakes, and they just found a musk turtle. So the daughter like runs over to the bank, and she's like looking over the bank real careful. She's like, I found it. And she picked up like this little itty bitty musk turtle, and she's like look at it. And I'm like, that is awesome. That's really cool.
Hell yeah.
And so we're like, we're looking for snakes. We're going to go up the river a little bit because we found a spot where we were seeing queen snakes, and we're like, we're going to go over there and start looking. And they're like, okay, like maybe we'll catch you guys, because they were heading out relatively soon after that. And so we go over to the queen snake spot, and we're like looking and looking and looking, and we're not finding anything except for that crayfish that I posted a video of on TikTok, and it went
that's viral. Yeah,
ridiculously viral. It's got 1.2 million views on it right now. I'm like, what? Yeah. I digress. I digress. So I see that. I take a quick video, and I'm still looking, and then I found a little baby banded water snake. No, it's probably a northern water snake, and so I lifted up this rock, and this little baby northern water snake is underneath there. And I look at it for a second. I'm like, not a copperhead. It's not a copperhead. Okay, I can grab it. And so I scoop it up, and I'm holding it, and Kristen's getting pictures. And the dad and daughter duo is coming up the river on the opposite side of the river. And I'm like, hey, check it out. I got a little water snake. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. So they come over to the side where we're at, and we're checking out this little water snake. It's a little tiny baby one. It's probably like a late last season baby. Yeah. And it had to be a late last season baby. But we're sitting there, and Kristen's like lifting up rocks and stuff, and then boom, she finds a ringneck snake, and we were like down in the river almost. Like it was in a little almost a little island. Like it had a water almost surrounding the area where we were in. And so we're like, what is a ringneck snake doing here? This doesn't make any sense. And so she grabs out. We got the ringneck snake. We got the northern water snake, and they're just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, you guys are just finding all the stuff, because they really hadn't been finding too much prior to us getting there. And they're like, oh, that's so awesome. That's so cool. And then boom, they find a queen snake, and we're like, what? Yes, this is awesome. Heck yeah, that's awesome. And so we're like going back and forth, and they went back to the other side of the river, because that is the trail that heads back to the car parking area. And then we're on the opposite side of the river, because we were trying to herp that side, because we haven't done a lot of herping on that side. And we're just like going back and forth, because we'd find something, and then all of a sudden they'd find something, and then we'd find something over here, and then he found this big queen snake right as soon as we got up close to the parking area, because he had water shoes on, so he was walking like in the river, and I was like, I'm not doing that. It's too cold for myself to be doing things like that. But he's like, check out this, and he brought her over, and she was like loaded up with follicles. She was huge, like just thick. And I was like, damn. And she was good size. She was like probably 15, 16 inches, maybe even a little bigger, and just thick. And I was like, oh man, that is awesome. That's so cool. So cool. And so they brought her over there, and we're looking at it and everything. And they saw a couple more northern water snakes over there. But I have a serious gripe to pick with the water snake descriptions in North Carolina, at least where we're at, because I know what northern water snakes look like, because in New England, that's the only water snake we have. Northern water snakes. So I've seen lots of northern water snakes. Yeah. Down here, there are some snakes that look kind of like northern water snakes. And then they've got the banded water snakes, which kind of look like the southern, they're definitely a more southern species. They got the plain-bellied water snakes, but the northern water snakes are incredibly variable, because some of them have got the bands down their body, kind of like the ones that we've got up north, and they have red in the patterning, which is like, yeah, I get it. And then there's other ones that have these they look like a mix between a diamondback water snake and a northern water snake, where the diamondbacks have got this pinched pattern, so they got bars that go up and down their body, and then the bars that go across the back. There's a bunch of water snakes around here that look like that, and they look more like a Midland water snake than a northern water snake. And everyone's like, oh no, those are northern water snakes. And I'm like, they don't even look like the other ones that look like northern water snakes. They look completely different. And if you look at Midland water snake ranges, they don't range out here. So, or at least on the maps that I was seeing, they don't range into North Carolina. So I'm like, what are these water snakes? It just doesn't make sense to me. and I got really heated about it because the first water snake, maybe not the first one, but I caught a water snake a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this does not look like a northern water snake. It looks like a midland water snake. And then we're out at this mill that we were at yesterday, and there's tons of water snakes out there that look just like northern water snakes. They're just like a little bit lighter in color.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Cause like, dude, literally I posted that picture of, or Kristen posted the video of me getting like down into the river to take this picture of this water snake. Yeah. And that one was huge. And like, very obviously northern water snake. Yeah. Before we saw that one, I don't think I posted pictures of it. I might have, but we saw another water snake that was like red. Its whole body was red, but it had patterning on it, and it had the pinched saddles down the back and the pinched bars down the sides. And I'm like, that looks like a midland water snake. It does not look like the northern water snakes, because around that mill there was like a bunch of water snakes just chilling in there. And so, because at first we were like, oh, we don't really see any snakes, and then we went over and got a little closer, and we're like, oh, there's a head, there's a body, there's another one over here. That one that I took a picture of was like wide out in the open. And it's crazy because there was like it's like a very, like, that's where when you park in the parking lot, that area that we took that picture was like a minute from the parking lot, maybe two, if you're walking slow. And so we saw a bunch of like touristy people there, and they're like, you got to be careful because there's snakes out here. We got to be careful because you might see a snake. And they walked all over, and they didn't see anything, and they just walked on. And then we come out there, and then boom, there's a 4-foot water snake, probably 3.5 foot northern water snake, just chilling wide out in the open, not covered by anything, just chilling right below the falls, dude. It was crazy. It was awesome. So cool, though.
Yeah, I saw Kristen's story of you going to take that photo, and then the photo of it that you got, which was badass. I was like, oh god.
So that's the picture I took on my phone. I also had my camera on me, so I took some pictures with my camera too, and those came out even better than the picture on my phone. So like, I gotta pull those off the memory card so that I can upload those, because man, they came out really nice. And I got some pictures of the really red one that looks like a midland water snake too. So we'll see.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, dude. I still have not gotten a chance to feel herping. So when I come back,
I make plans to go field herping. That's all I want to do. That's one of my goals since I moved down here.
No, when I come back from LA, I need to take a day and be like, Rob, when is your next day off? We need to go field herping.
Yeah, for real. Or what we should do is we should contact Dave Rigoli and meet somewhere in the like out by him, because he's in the middle of the two of us. So it'll be an hour for me, an hour for you, and he's said he's got some pretty good spots out there. So that'll be a spot I haven't herped yet, and then you'll get to do some herping, and maybe we'll see some shit.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah!
I need to see wild animals.
Bro, I've just been going to every state park. I'm just like, I just gotta look. Yeah. And then if I see someone who looks like they know what they're doing, I'm like, so you see any snakes out here?
Dude, so like, I think it was like a week or two after we had the Herp Society meeting, Lenny went out to went out to Lake Norman State Park and found a rough green snake.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah, he's like, dude. He's like, I was so like losing my mind when you guys were like posting pictures of everything you were finding. He's like, I've been going there for I don't know how many times, and I never see anything. And then I'm like talking to Andrea, and then all of a sudden we're like, bam, green snake.
Hell yeah. I saw that picture and I was like, I wonder if he went out there. And then I was like, oh yeah, he did. You know what's crazy, dude? You know who lives in Lake Norman?
Who?
Or lives right in that area?
Who?
Zach Nava and Miri.
Oh yes, yeah.
I just saw them tag that, and I was like, Lake Norman. Why do I know that name? And then I was like, oh, we were just out there. That's just fucking crazy. Yeah.
I just said to Miri that we all need to hang out sometime soon. So we got a plan for that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it needs to happen. It'll be fun. It's dude. You know what's funny is like I said to Zach at Tinley in October. I'm like, dude, we live 40 minutes from each other. Why did we both have to travel to Chicago to see each other?
For real, though.
This is not okay.
For real.
But
I cannot wait for Tinley.
I know, dude. I can't wait for Daytona to be
Daytona.
able to go for the shenanigans and then the show and then more shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be dope as hell.
I'm pumped. I cannot wait for I have already got my time off. We booked our flights already, so Daytona is doing it, and then I'm gonna try and book everything for Tinley here soon. But just juggling money. That's all.
Yep. No, dude, trust me, I feel that. As soon as I had the money hit the account, I was like, I'm gonna do it now, because if I don't do it now, it's not getting done. Mm-hmm. But I'm driving to both, just because it's within my driving capacity time wise to drive down to Daytona and to drive to Tinley. So
yeah, Daytona's like what, 7 hours?
Yeah, 7 hours from me. So I think it's more like 9 from you or something like that, or 8 or something.
Yeah, I think it's like 8. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly into Orlando and then drive from Orlando to Daytona, so that we can do Gatorland and do some field herping and all that sort of stuff.
Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got to send you a message because I was hanging out with Zoomed Tom.
Ooh, hell yeah.
And he was talking about some potential things to do because he'll be at Daytona also. So.
Oh, it's going down. Oh, it's going down.
Exactly. So it'll be fun shenanigans to be happening for sure.
Oh, it's going to be rowdy.
Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. Man. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great.
I cannot wait. This just gets better and better.
Yes. I think he said he was going to Tinley too, but I don't remember. So it's just gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tinley's stressing me out a little bit because like my lease is up at the end of the beginning of November. So like I'm probably gonna have to like do Tinley and then move like 3 weeks after I get back, 2 weeks after I get back. So I'm like,
yeah, ooh.
It is what it is.
Yeah, true. Let's just buy a house, Rob. Let's just do it,
bro. Believe me, this housing market right now is insane, though. Like literally insane. I don't even want to talk about it because I'm gonna go and start delving into just how obscene this shit is. Like literally, companies buying 30% of single family homes in the U.S. Like, what the fuck is that shit? It's just bullshit.
Yep.
Just pissed me off. Okay, no, we gotta talk about something else.
Go back to snakes.
These little jungle carpets that need to have shed. They haven't had their first shed yet.
Well, they've been out for what now? A week and a half or something?
Yeah, so they're right around there.
Yeah. Any day.
Super chill.
Any day now.
Yep. I'm setting them up on paper towels tonight to see if we can get something going.
Heck yeah. Oh man. I'm not looking forward to the increase in feeder bill. That's what I'm not looking forward to.
Bro, I was just looking at like, I need to start breeding mice and rats like right now.
Dude. You know what's funny? I'm telling you, man, the rats, there's a couple local rat breeders that their prices are actually pretty decent. But it's mice, man. Everybody charges way too much money for mice out here in any sort of quantity. And it's like, okay, I get it if somebody's only coming to buy, 5 pinky mice, I get it. Charge what you're going to charge. But, for people like us that are going to be like, hey man, I need like 30 at a time, 30 a week, or, if you can do frozen, I'm going to buy 150 of them. So I just got them,
Yep.
but then they don't budge on the prices. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do that when I can go right to Rodent Pro and get what I need frozen. Free shipping and get it for literally 70% less in bulk, but there's people with rat prices that are pretty decent. So I'll pass along some of that info. You know what we should do, because I need to plan this soon. I am thinking about going to visit Josh Ortiz soon.
Oh hell yeah.
So I gotta shoot him a message and then figure out a day to go down there. So I'll hit you up and maybe just make a fucking trip out of it.
Yes, sir. And then we gotta talk about when the next Herp Society meeting is.
Yes, yeah. So anybody that's actually in the chat that maybe missed the video I posted on the Facebook page. So the May meeting we've postponed. We're going to be at Willie's place, Venom Central, in South Carolina, and he's still working on getting everything set up and ready so that it can be open for the public. He had a couple of bumps in the road. So rather than adding more pressure onto him and getting down there for a certain day, we're like, hey, you know what? We'll just postpone it. When you're good, let us know. So there won't be a May meeting, but I'm working with Alex on locking in the centralized place to meet for June. So hopefully end of June, we'll be able to host our next meeting. Get all of that locked in. And I was actually just out in Charlotte yesterday and came across a place. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's called Spaces, and it's literally a business that is just conference rooms that can be rented out and stuff. So that might be like a backup plan, so to speak. If we just need a place to gather, you know, and hang out and do whatever, and then go about our business afterwards. So, but we'll have that. So info, if you want to learn more about the Carolina Herp Society, just go on over Facebook, just type in Carolina Herp Society, and it'll pop right up. Give the page a like, and make sure you click to get those notifications so you know every time we make a post, and let y'all know about meetings and stuff. Shout out to AB for super chat for righteous indignation. Appreciate that. And Timothy again just had an idea. Adam Wolf as a guest, if you know him in NC Mortal Coil Servantry. I do know Adam.
I would love to have him on and talk about some Orthreophis stuff.
Yes, that'd be pretty dope. I haven't talked to Adam in a bit, but yeah, he's cool people for sure. Bam. All right, dude, we're almost at our hour mark, and I feel like we both have things that we're excited about for Reptile. So Rob, what's got you excited about Reptiles right now, Rob?
Finding that copperhead was awesome. Oh, you know what it is? You know what the thing is that I saw most recently is that dude who was in Darwin, and he
the breeding ball?
Yeah, the breeding Acrocortis, the elephant trunk snakes. Yeah. Bro, I was freaking the fuck out. I was so excited because I saw it on his story, and I was like, oh crap, it's gonna delete soon. So I screen recorded it, and then I saw that he posted it on his actual Instagram, and I was like, yes, this is fucking awesome because it's so I didn't even realize that Acrocortis, that the elephant trunk snakes ranged into Australia. It makes sense because Indonesia, fucking you know, right there. Yeah. But I just didn't think about it. And then him posting that video, he's in this shallow area, and there's just probably 50 or 60 elephant trunk snakes just all going around. You can see the big females in there, and then these little tiny males scooting around, and oh man, it was just so cool. So freaking cool. Hold on, I'm gonna look up because I did record that. I'm gonna just see if I can pull up his screen name so I can give him appropriate credit, so that if you want to check it out, you can check it out. Hold on one second.
Josh Hatoun, I think, or
yes, Houghton. Yeah. Dude, I was just
I want to try to get him on the podcast. So he's done a bunch of various herp trips and everything. He works at Australia Zoo and stuff. So I want to try to get him on the podcast. I've talked with him a couple times, but I think he would be super cool to talk to. He posts every once in a while. He'll just go on these posting sprees on his story of different herp trips that he's done. He did one on the U.S. He did one going to Madagascar and all this other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, Josh _ Hatton, Hatton 16 is his screen name. So shout out to him. And then we do got to get Smithy on, talk about some scrubs and some Oxyranus and all that sort of stuff. That'd be pretty sweet. And then Matt Minatola is in the pipeline too. Super pumped that we can get him on. And I know that I do want to talk to some other people too about their breeding season. So we should get Billy on.
Billy Hunt.
Uwabami, yeah.
Yeah. A boo-boo?
Yeah, I figured out how to say it in the last year. It took me a minute.
It did. That's okay.
I'm not the brightest candle in the box.
Heck yeah. No, dude, Billy's awesome. I would love to talk to Billy. Yeah, we gotta plan that stuff. I just gotta get through the next 2 weeks. Once I get through the next 2 weeks, then everything settles down. I have a couple shows in June, like mid-June, but then there's really, outside of like corporate wedding gigs and stuff, I don't really have anything that's going to force me to travel very much. So after I get through, I think I get back from LA on June 7th or something like that, and then let's chill and everything settles, so I can finally like be like, okay, who's available on Friday?
Yeah. I'm excited for that. What is in the reptile world has got you excited right now? Just hatching out baby Borneos for the first time?
I mean, yeah, that does have me pretty stoked, dude. I mean, it's hatching out Borneos for the first time and having and I know I shouldn't have, but having an idea of what would be in those eggs, and then actually seeing what was in those eggs and being like, okay, that I maybe expected. What the hell is that? That, but just the diversity within that clutch, man. When you got to come out here and look at some of these things, because man, it's like so many of them are so dark and clean and contrasted, and then there's like one or two that don't look anything like, color wise, don't look anything like the other 95% of the clutch. It's so bizarre, and I stare at those the most because I'm like, why did you turn out that way?
What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. And then my ball python breeder mentality kicks in and is like, I should hold on to that.
It's a new gene.
And like I have to push it back down, like repress it again, and be like, no, it's just Borneos. It's just
polygenic.
Oh gosh. But yeah, so I'm super stoked about that. But honestly, man, what has me really excited right now is Daytona and Tinley. I'm doing both of those things and being in a more free state to not literally North Carolina, but free state of being to enjoy both of those things. Probably
not being tied to a table. Yeah.
Yeah, and just being able to hang and chill and do whatever. I'm super pumped for all of that. So
hell yeah. I need to recreate Daytona night swimming with Matt Bowers and not get eaten by sharks again.
It's true. Maybe just go into the pool.
Boo! Tomato.
Come on, man. Go into the pool and then we'll strap a dorsal fin on a Bob Vu.
Ooh, I like this idea.
Come on, man. Or Chad Hulk, or both.
Yeah, I could see that. David, you got to get David Levinson in there too.
I mean, 100%. I mean,
if Chad's involved, it's got to have David Levinson too.
Oh gosh, too good, man.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, too freaking good. All right, man. If people want to see what you got going on, where they can check out your babies and stuff, where they got to go?
Check out my Instagram at Rob is Creeping It Real, or TikTok at Rob is Creeping It Real. That's the only two things that you'll be able to follow me on. So follow me there, and I'll be posting things to my story on Instagram about babies I produce, if and when things become available, all that sort of stuff. I usually do through Instagram. I do have a Morph Market account. Keeping up with Morph Market is just a pain in the butt for me, so I try and do everything through Instagram. But yeah. All right, Jeremy, if people want to find out more about you, where are they going to
go? Literally anywhere and everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all Brass and Reptiles. Yeah, I need to post more on Morph Market because I have a whole new batch of animals that it's ready to go up. So you can check me out, Brassman Reptiles on Morph Market. If you're interested in buying some stuff, I just sent out a couple packages today. So thank you to those people. You'll enjoy your ball pythons tomorrow. And yeah, that'd be about it. Oh, I will say my Twitter, I've posted some Borneo stuff on Twitter. And apparently people on Twitter, at least my Twitter, like Borneos. Because my Twitter's been blowing the hell up since I made that post. So
hell yeah.
Thank you to who's checking me out on Twitter, following for the Borneo pics. I'm here for that.
Hell yeah, that's where it's at, man.
Hell yeah. But, all right, dude. That wraps it up, man.
Yep, today's episode is brought to you by Black Box Cages. Make sure you check them out. Really top of the line cages. I can't say enough good things about them. Really great people, and turnaround time is impeccable. Make sure that you check out Black Box Cages. We support them here, and you should too.